Welcome back to AFOX number one stop to entertainment and trending news. Abel Mutua's brother Jesse, who many know as Luke Baridi on his social media platforms, has shared his side of the story when it comes to the passing of their late brother Raphael. A lot has unfolded the past couple of hours since Abel took to his social media to announce that he had lost his brother. It all started with lots of condolences messages, people sending their prayers and thoughts. Then his brother Jesse also shared the passing of his brother, and this is where things started taking a different turn. Please check the video before this because we go into details as to why Abel also decided to put out a statement today. The fact that Jesse said that he does not have any other photo of him and his brother beside this one when he was 1 day old indicated to netizens that the relationship between the brothers was damaged. The other rumor that was circulating was that they were looking for his brother's photos, anyone who might have a photo, because they had none. And just to give a hint of what was circulating on social media, Luku Baridi had written, "Rest in peace, brother. It was a pleasure." This was a comment that he left. And someone responded, "May the good Lord forgive you, Jesse, for everything you put your brother through. All the punches, unnecessary roughing up, hungry and cold nights. One way or another, they led us to where we are. Raphael looked up to you. He always spoke admirably about you, especially in high school. But in the last few years, the narrative changed. You became the boogeyman. I say this because it's the truth and I will live by it." This is also the time that reports were also circulating that Raphael, their brother, had unalived himself. And this is also another comment that was circulating. And this was actually what was shared on Facebook. "Jesse is brother Abel and Raphael, rest in perfect peace, champ. Raphael unalived himself on the 20th of December, Juicy 2 at the Ushago. Now, I know this game perfectly well, and what Joroge is saying is nothing but the truth. This Mutiso's family led their brother to unaliving himself. They pushed him to the wall kabisa. Raphael was a young, vibrant man, just 23 years, and involved in what some guys his age did. Smoking shash, hapakule, cigarettes, etc., but very cool. But the whole farm, especially Hiki Jesse, termed him as cheesy, kumpiga vita and all, kumkimbiza hadi na kisu ati hataki kumwona home. There's a lot I can say, a lot, but wacha nipanguze machozi." And so many people came with their own versions, having interacted with Raphael allegedly. As you can see, truth be told, when he went into depression, both brothers weren't there for him. He was starved literally and beaten up countless times and even kicked out. He'd seek refuge at my place because he was close to my little brother, so hii facade ya kujifanya wako sad sahi is disgusting. Honestly, he was pushed to the edge and he decided to take the easiest way out. And the same person even replied to a different comment saying Abel and the wife kicked him out because apparently they didn't feel safe about him being around their daughter, and each time he went there excited to go see his niece anaambiwa akae nje ya gate. He'd come back and cry about it. Then Abel Mutua ended up putting out a pay bill number, and this did not sit well with netizens. Some said, "You recently just bought a Discovery. Why are you asking us for money?" Others were like, "You guys together with your friends are able to give your brother a babysitting send-off." If you saw the previous video, some people are even saying there's no hospital bill, there's no need for contribution. And this is what Abel put out. "Thank you so much, Wakurugenzi, for the love that you're sending our way. A good number of you know the truth and you have stood with us since my brother became ill. I'll tell Rafo's story because I know it'll save someone and his death won't be in vain. See you after the burial." So Bwana Mkurugenzi Abel Mutua decided that he's going to address this issue because there was a lot of backlash towards him and his brother. But the person who really caught the heat more than Abel was his brother Jesse. Everyone was just calling him out, and he decided to put his own statement out and share his side of the story. And that is what we want to dive in. Many thought that after the burial, then maybe they will share their side, but it seems like he felt he needs to address this. So Jesse shares, "I knew one day I was gonna trend, but never in my wildest dreams did it occur to me that would happen in such a time. I'm mourning the loss of my brother as being the reason why he's no more. I know it's bad timing, but for my peace of mind, I want to address just one aspect that has been leveled against against me as an individual, which was violence towards my brother. I want to unconditionally admit Kwa, I went physical on my kid bro on several occasions. That's absolutely true, and here's the other side of the coin. So my kid brother had the opportunity to live a very comfortable life with Abel at his house, but he chose to live a basic life with me since my dad is a retired civil servant who relocated to Ushago. So years later, at around 2019, I got a job and I was required to move places, so I left Rafo at the house, but I will still manage his wellness together with the other members, and I'd occasionally come see him. It was at this point that he was done with school, and so somehow things weren't working according to how he'd hoped for. So he became ill, mental health issues, and since nilimfunza mpaka sherehe, it didn't help matters, and so he sank into depression. I'd come visit him, napata he's sleeping na black stanners. For kitu 2 months amelala na gogo, so I looked for a few friends of his, nikauliza if they have noticed something with Rafo. Wakanishow your bro ni kama ana step, meaning ako karibu kuachilia. So what I did, I took a taxi from Nairobi to Machakos level 5 cause kuna one of my sisters who works there, and she told me wanaweza mfanyia test wajue if my bro ameanza kuchizi cause he was showing very serious tendencies, and I wanted to be proactive. So kufika level 5 Machakos, which was a lot of work before umuingize kwa gari, but I used force, and so Rafo akadungwa sindano ile ya watu ni kama wanataka kuachilia, na test inasemekana he's very okay. Nikashukuru Mungu. I even apologized to him but requested him tuende Ushago tukaone mzae at least cause it was near. So from there I took Rafo straight to our dad back in Ushago Yata, Katangi, then went back to Nairobi alone, left him there. 2 days later, I get a distress call from my dad telling me kuwa Rafo amemtwist mkono wakaangushana chini because my dad wanted to get a sling bag on his neck which had a few drugs. So my mind went back to the Machakos level 5 test which said Rafo was in a good state of mind, so it occurred to me kuwa he knew what he was doing. So I felt at that state we might have to bury my dad at 70. So I went to Ushago April 21st, 2020. Ata sikusalimia watu, niligo physical on my bro for the first time in my life. I can swear this before God, and he apologized, and we shook hands tukasema I should never get such a call ever in history. Weeks later, I also got a call again from Abel, telling me apparently my bro ameenda kuvuruga his landlady at the office. Abel tells me to go see the boy before he does more damage since he was out of town. So I went straight to Kahawa Sukari where Abel's office iko, and Abel's workmates can attest to this. Nikapata amevuruga watu huko mbaya, demanding to be paid his salary, having worked for 2 weeks akawa anataka salary papo kwa hapo. And so this was the second time I descended on him makofi mbili tatu, cause you can't talk to someone who's fighting. And I got us into an Uber and googled the nearest rehabilitation center and got one at Kiambu town, took my brother straight there because he was getting out of hand. I have to give this story because I'm in pain, Ajab, and if I don't release this, it will eventually explode on me. My bro still refused to be rehabilitated, so I still took a taxi, hadi Ushago to our dad, and I delivered the boy to my dad's hands, but I gave the two of them instructions. I should never ever be called on matters related to Rafo. The only call I'll pick is the day he'll tell me he's ready for rehabilitation. Bila hiyo ata msijisumbue, and we shook hands that day, and it's the last time I spoke to Rafo until now recently when I got a call from my dad asking me to come with policemen and collect the lifeless body of my brother. So as for violence, I admit, but that's not violence, but it was kurekebisha makosa as his second parent. Remember, I was the only one living with Rafo. Did I do it for anger? No, I was trying to rekebisha kosa. Did you love your brother? Absolutely. If this ain't love, then I don't know what's love. Do you regret anything? Absolutely not. I did my best, but it wasn't enough. Rest in peace, Rafo. I'm sad I had to clarify my actions in such a time. So that is Jesse sharing his side of the story, and when he decided that he will no longer be in contact unless his brother will decide to go for rehabilitation. He never got that call. He was never in contact with his brother. And the call that he got was from his dad asking him to come with policemen to take the lifeless body of his brother. As many of you even yesterday on the comment section said, there are those of you who have experienced perhaps family members with addiction, different kind of challenges, even mental health issues. Sometimes it can be very draining, and those who had experiences had shared that it is a very long journey. And as I mentioned as well, sometimes you might think this is just a chapter of a book. I might put a pause and I'll come back and continue later. But sometimes there is no later. In such a case, a young life was lost. Maybe they would have been driven to a point of exhaustion, but they never thought that he would actually take his own life. And as we have seen, the passing of their brother has come with a lot of blame game. The blame has been shifted on them. Everyone is blaming them for the passing of their brother. And according to him, he had already done his best. There was nothing more that he would have done in this situation to have saved his brother. As he has put out, do you regret anything? Absolutely not. I did my best, but it wasn't enough. So that is his side of the story. Abel Mutua did promise yesterday that once everything has settled down, they have laid their brother to rest, he will come and share his brother's story. And maybe perhaps there are people who have understood him and have supported him during this difficult time. But there's also people out there, the public, who get to see the comments that are circulating on social media, people coming out and saying things, and they do not know the other side of the coin. Maybe they will also understand as these other people have understood them and stood with them. Families, relationships, friendships can be very complicated. So this is such a difficult conversation to have, and only the individuals in that situation know exactly what they have been through, what they are going through, and how badly the shoe hurts. So all we can do is keep the family in prayers, because at the end of the day, they are mourning the loss of their loved one, and may the young soul rest in peace. You're up to date. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you will be the first to be notified once of any new updates. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.